Hi everyone and welcome back. My name's Alison, the online piano and the unknown violin tutor. Today I'm going to be doing Attack on Titan for easy violin. If you want to know where to get the copy of this music, there'll be a free download link directly underneath this video. I've also got a performance video which will be linked coming up here, and a piano tutorial as well linked up here. If you're on a mobile device and you can't get annotations, then just click in the description box underneath this video. Everything will be there. Also, the other thing is I've just got a new camera set up now, so if I'm looking directly up to this camera, I've got a big kind of 7-inch monitor that I'm sitting that is sitting up there. So if I'm looking up above the camera, it's just because I'm looking at my monitor to make sure that everything is in focus and you can see me. So grab your copy of this and let's get going with Attack on Titan. First of all, as usual, I'm just going to quickly take you through what I do. Every single, Every single note has a number above it, so you know what finger to put on, and every single, you'll have all the strings there, so every single note and what string that it's going to be going on. So for example, you've got second finger on A, second finger on A, open E, third finger on A, 1 on A, 1 on A, 2 on A, so on and so forth. This won't be written in rubbish pen. This will be done properly on the computer. I've just quickly printed this off today and just written in just a few of the letters, but it'll all be filled in as usual. There's no repeat. Yes, there are repeats in there, so I will just quickly take you through what's going to happen. So on page 1, you're going to play it through. You've got a repeat at bar or measure 20 here. Going on to the second page, you've got your repeat sign here, so this is the second page, so you're going to go back to 20 that you've got on the first page. Then you're going to play it all the way through, and then you're going to jump the first time bar and jump over to the second bar and play all the way through to the end. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now, again, this was, there are lots of sharps in the key signature that some of you may notice, and I toyed with, this does change key halfway through as well. I toyed with putting it into an easier key, but as I was going along trying to change keys and keeping everything in the appropriate key, it just got really confusing, made it a lot harder. It was just taking so much time to do. So I know some of you moan at me when I do change key for things because a lot of you like them in original keys, but this one was quite hard. So even if I changed it to another key, because it does change into 2 different key signatures, one would have been easy, one would have been difficult, or the first half would have been easy, the second half where it changes key would have been difficult anyway. So it was kind of the lesser of two evils, a bit like the Zion thing from Kingdom Hearts that I did. I was kind of met with exactly the same thing there. That's got a dual key signature where it just changes halfway through. So one part is easy, one part is still difficult. If I change the key to make the hard part easy, then the easy part becomes difficult, and it just gets into a big mess. So what I've done is I've kept it all in the same keys. You guys can play along with the original version of this if you want to. There isn't an awful lot going on in terms of notes, so there isn't going to be so much for you to remember, but I'm going to take you through that now. I'm not going to play it all the way through, I'm just going to play parts because I've already got a video on this, but this was so much fun to do. Okay, so that's the first part. Now what you're going to have to do is remember that your second fingers for C's are going to be stretched. Again, so I'm looking up in my monitor. Second fingers are going to be stretched, so they're going to be here. You've got open E's. Then your third fingers are going to also be stretched because you've got D sharp, so don't forget to put them above the line. When you've got G's on the E string, they're also going to be G sharp. So everything, just to count, everything is going to be sharp. You can still do open A's and open E's at this point, but your second fingers are going to be sharp, so they're going to be close to the third finger, and your third fingers are going to be sharp as well. All of your second and third fingers are pretty much going to be sharp all the way through this anyway, but I'll take you through a few bits and bobs. So that is that one. If you want to do fourth fingers instead of the open E's, absolutely go ahead and do that. I always put the open E's in just to make it a lot easier. So if you want to go, I mean, that would make more sense to do that, but again, open strings are easier. If you want to change them, I'll leave that to you to go ahead and do that. So okay, then we're going on to 7. just a normal fourth finger for the B. Now second finger's back for the G natural. Third finger is third finger, so it's just a normal fourth finger for the B. Second finger is G natural, so we're now back close to the first finger. The third finger is, as usual, on the dot. D natural, so we're back on the dot again. That one's D sharp, so that one's going to have to be stretched. Then you've got this. If you want to play that, it's, you know, it's completely up to you. I put it in small so you don't have to. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, fourth line down, bar 12, measure 12. So everything is stretched. Okay, so there's two ways of doing that bit. The third finger for the D has to be stretched, so it has to be over there. First finger for Bs are normal. Second fingers are stretched because they're C sharps. Now you've got A sharp in the key signature, so that means a back 1. So this is why you've got 3 for D, 1 for B, 2 for C, 1 for A sharp, and then you're sliding the 1 again for the B. In the next bar, you've got a 3 for the G sharp. I've put a 1 for the A sharp and then a 2, but you can do the A sharp as a fourth finger. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it does mean an extra super duper stretched fourth finger. You can either go or you can use the fourth finger for the A. Here. Depends if you want to stretch that fourth finger or not. I would do that rather than going back to 1, but it really, really doesn't matter. So that little runner there is just a run, you know, just where the fingers I've said is normal. The G has got to be stretched. The 1 is A sharp, sorry, the A is an A sharp, so that's a 1. Then you've got a 1 for the B. The second finger for C sharp is stretched. The third finger is stretched, open E, and then you've got an F sharp, which is normally on the dot. The next section after that at 20 repeats. Okay, and then we get to 28. So bar 28, the third fingers are going to be stretched over the dot. Oh, sorry, wrong string. So then you've got a 3 for the G sharp and a 3 for the G natural. You've got the 3s for the G. 1 A. Just slide it. It doesn't really matter. Again, if you want to do some different fingering, that's up to you, but I've just put the most obvious one in there. D sharps are 1, so they are back. Then you've got the third finger stretched for the Gs. For the C naturals, they're back. Then stretch them at 32. So then you've got a C and then a C natural at the last bar on that first page. But because they're right next to each other, I just played it as a finger 1 just because I think it was easier. Then you've pretty much got on the second page what you've got at the start. Again, so it's up to you if you want to do those open strings or you want to play them as fourth fingers for the E. You know, I'll completely leave that up to you. Everything is just pretty much the same at 55 and 60. Those two lines, they are the same as the third line on the first page. So then that just takes us to the last line on the first page. Actually, if I just do the from measure 60 or bar 60, so this is the penultimate line on the second page. I think I put an A there at the end, but The last line is just a normal D, B flat, which is back as usual, C natural, so it's just above where the second finger would go. Normal G's this time, hurrah! And then back second fingers for the F natural, and that's it. And then you just end it like that. So again, this is kind of, it looks more complicated than it is, but I think you've just got to remember that you've got to stretch everything. If something doesn't quite sound right, just go back and look at the finger number that you've got on there, go back and look at the string and see if you can, you know, use what I've said in this video and see if you can work out where it's supposed to be. If you've got the right finger on it and you've got the right string, it's probably, and it still doesn't sound right, it's probably because maybe your finger isn't back or your finger isn't stretched or something like that. So you've pretty much, with the finger numbers and the strings, you're pretty much 90% of the way there. You've just got to remember, if in doubt, stretch everything. So sharps go this way. Sharps go towards you, which is why it's stretched, because it feels like you're stretching everything. So sharps go towards you, flats go back to the peg. Since you've got all the sharps in the world almost in the key signature, as you can see at the end of the lines, it looks very, very scary, because you've got all the sharps in there. If in doubt, just stretch it, just make it sharp, and it's probably you'll probably hit the right note. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You've got the sheet music anyway. Have fun playing it with a backing track if you can find one, or the original, whatever. I'll leave that to you. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Just alerts you, it's completely free, just alerts you of when I release new videos, and it just helps me to become more popular, to help more people like yourself. Thumbs up the video and all that kind of YouTube jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.